She ran into Laura again at the hospital, and Laura finally stood up for herself with Leslie. Leslie was trying her to tell her to move, little girl, and she said she's not a little girl, she's a grown-ass woman, so move out of my way. Good afternoon or evening, fellow Beyond the Gates viewers. Here to talk about today's Friday episode, where after yesterday's pretty damn good episode, we of course followed that up with a filler Friday, which has become way too typical from Beyond the Gates. I've never seen a soap opera have so many boring Friday episodes, but for some reason that's what Beyond the Gates likes to do. I felt like today's episode was quite out of place for a November sweeps month. I think they could have given us more than what they gave us today. But let's get into what little they did give us today. I guess the main thing, the only storyline with a little bit of movement, was this Laura and Leslie storyline. Anita met Laura today, who was on the phone with Nicole at the time, right after Nicole had sniffed some of her Febreze that she loves so much, and the show loves to promote Febreze with the Nicole character, which has been good for her. I feel like it's been good for the actress and Febreze to have a little bit of a working relationship, so that's cool. But Laura met with Anita to discuss some Winterfest preparations, only for Leslie to interrupt and only for Leslie to once again tease Laura and try and make Laura afraid of her, basically like she's been doing the last couple of weeks when Laura was leaving. Leslie then sits down with Anita to discuss the invitations that she did for Anita. I still don't understand Anita's plan with Leslie here. I don't know why the Duprees are letting Leslie be any part of Winterfest. I think it has been very contrived writing, and I can only hope that maybe we are getting to a point with Winterfest where there will be some sort of downfall for Leslie, which I feel like a lot of the fan base feels is long overdue. I did enjoy Leslie doing some teasing with Anita in these scenes today, though, where Vernon is concerned with the play on words with the word affair, because in this episode, Vernon once again did have a secret meeting with Sharon at the end of the episode, or call Sharon to have a secret meeting with her. And that is what they've been pushing with Vernon lately. These whole secret meetups with Sharon, which most of us think will be that she's just teaching him how to sing and it won't be an affair, and hopefully it's not an affair, or it's going to be really bad writing and it should be universally despised with the writing if that's where they go, because it would be too redundant with the Dupree men always cheating. But that was the Vernon part of today's episode. He also had some scenes with Martin to talk about his politics, and that Martin's going to have a tough competition for his trying to be reelected campaign, the re-election campaign next year, I guess. I don't know if we'll get that character on the show, whoever will be going against Martin, but we'll see. I kind of hope they don't, because I don't really care about Martin's political career, quite frankly. But, I mean, if done well, it could actually be interesting and dramatic, but we'll see. Anyway, after Leslie gets called away to the hospital to see Peaches, Eva ends up running into Anita, because Eva was supposed to meet with Leslie. And Anita and Eva had a good conversation for the first time ever. In the past, Anita's been very unwilling to mend fences with Eva in the past. But in today's episode, she said that even though she's still mad at Ted and Leslie for what they did to Nicole, she now allegedly sees Eva as collateral damage, which I still contend Eva was. But I'm not even going to get into that whole argument today. That's what Anita said. You'll have to be mad at Anita. You'll have to be mad at the writing. But now Anita is becoming a little more accepting of Eva. Some of the comments are thinking that maybe Eva is not really Leslie and Ted's daughter, or just Ted's daughter. That's what a lot of you in the comments are saying. I think it might just be more wishful thinking from some of the people in the comments, but it is a possibility. None of these characters ever really pressed Leslie about the DNA test done on Eva and Ted, but they did have paper evidence from a test from the hospital that Eva was indeed Ted's kid back in May when that went down. I'm still under the impression that with the way the writing has gone for Kat lately, and maybe why it is so over the top, that Kat is so over the top, and that nobody is believing Kat and the family, is because Kat might not be Nicole's daughter. And I think that will be a story that would really do some wonders for the character of Kat, but definitely be a story that will crush the character of Kat and then have to have her whole identity be rebuilt, which I would like, but I know there's a certain part of the fan base that probably won't like that. But they've definitely been dropping a lot of anvils with that and the comparisons between Kat and the Leslie character. As for Leslie in this episode, she ran into Laura again at the hospital, and Laura finally stood up for herself with Leslie. Leslie was trying to tell her to move, little girl, and she said she's not a little girl, she's a grown-ass woman, so move out of my way. That was good. It was good to see Laura finally not take some shit from Leslie. And then Laura also gave Leslie hell for running her off the road. Leslie was threatening a defamation suit, but Laura said she's not lying and that Leslie tried to kill her twice. So I am wondering if we are moving towards the truth to be revealed about Leslie, even though a lot of characters suspect it was Leslie. I don't know how we get to that point where the evidence has been concerned with the investigation that seems to have been dropped months ago. But the fact that they are giving us these Leslie and Laura scenes makes me believe that we are going to maybe get a payoff for that story soon, especially with Laura being around so much lately. By the end of the episode, Leslie was trying to tell Laura she wants a truce, but this was after joking with Laura that if she's the one that tried to kill Laura, she would have gotten the job done, and right now Laura would be dead, surrounded by worms feasting on her, basically. But then she told Laura she was joking. Nicole interrupted Leslie before she could make a truce with her, and then Nicole comforted Laura. So the Duprees stood up for Laura a little bit with Leslie today, which was good. And then Laura also stood up for herself, which was even better. But honestly, that was kind of the only decent points about today's episode. We did have Carlton stop by Nicole's office wanting to be the one to escort her to Winterfest. Nicole's been trying to make it clear to Carlton that she doesn't want a relationship with him. He said this isn't about him not taking no for an answer. This is about friendship. He's still trying to be friends with her, I guess. And so she gives in and will go to Winterfest with him. Not really feeling that pairing overall, though, so honestly, probably better off that they stay friends, but the show seems to be moving Ted and Leslie back into each other's orbit, and then maybe Shanice into that, or maybe June into that. They've definitely teased different women with Ted lately, maybe trying to figure out what direction they really want to go. I don't know where that leaves Nicole, but I'm not convinced that it needs to be Carlton, because I'm not exactly feeling those two as a couple. And then the only other story on today was the teens, which I have been enjoying lately, but today's conversations, while realistic, were mostly boring to me. I do like Samantha in these scenes. I do like that Samantha has become the teen that talks back to her parents. She's still grounded and she's not happy about it. And she kind of keeps throwing Tyrell under the bus to show that maybe he's not so innocent himself. Today it came out that First of all, Tyrell didn't want to go to some event that Smitty was trying to take the kids to because he's going to get on FaceTime with Jessica and watch something together, which is always cute. Something I've done in the past in the 2010s, when I was younger. It's a new age way of feeling close to someone, I guess, when you can't be with them in person. But then the bigger deal is that Tyrell tells Smitty he doesn't want to maybe go to Banneker. He might want to go to UCLA instead. Samantha rats out that UCLA is where Jessica is going to be going to kind of throw Tyrell under the bus for his reasoning as to why he wants to go to UCLA. So Smitty dismissed Samantha from the conversation to have a one-on-one chat with his son to figure out what he's up to. Tyrell says that Jessica is good for him. She notices when he's spiraling before he does, and that she's really down to earth. And he clearly really likes Jessica, and he doesn't want to throw that all away, and it will all be for nothing if she goes to UCLA and dumps him for a Cali guy, which would probably be a mistake from Jessica if she were to do that. As someone that lived in LA for a few years, the dating in LA is tragic, so it wouldn't work out for Jessica there. Smitty talks about it with Martin, who of course blows off that handle with Smitty when Smitty tells Martin about what Tyrell wants to do to go to UCLA. Martin blows off the handle talking about, he's going to follow some girl across the country. He's not going to let that happen. The typical Martin response that you would expect with his controlling over-the-top self when it comes to the things he wants versus what other people want or think. But that was it. That was today's Friday episode. The preview for next week seems fine. Looks like Winterfest will definitely be in December, so I'm expecting the show to, I hope, really heat up in early to mid-December. I would assume Winterfest isn't around the holidays, but maybe they'll make us wait until the end of the year for the show to really pop off. Next week we'll get more Haley and Isaiah. We'll get more problems for Bill and Haley. We'll get Danny and Andre maybe ruining Thanksgiving. They look like they were burning a turkey, possibly. I don't know how many episodes there are next week. I don't know if it will air on Thanksgiving. I assume not. I assume there's a football game that day. Yeah, I don't really see how it could be on Thanksgiving because the Cowboys game is on CBS, actually. So I don't know if it will just be on Monday through Wednesday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I assume the show will at least be on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday next week, so I will see you all again then. And I do also do my Soap Opera Sundays on Sundays for anyone that watches other soap operas beyond the Gates. I talk about what I'm thinking about the other soaps right now, trying to stick by some of these other soaps, but they make it hard. As bad as the writing can get on Beyond the Gates, or as boring as it could be, it's still better than a lot of the other American soap operas right now, but I will still be talking about them come Sunday.